Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 3:05 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at an ongoing bow echo line of storms creating so many problems for people across portions of the Arklatex area. Alright, this line of storms has knocked out so many customers' power. If you look at this little map here, you can see all these little counties that are shaded in the different colors. Those are counties with power outages for at least a good chunk of the county, okay? So if we take a look at some of the individual counties here, some of the harder hit ones, we can see that 35% of Marion County, Texas is without power. We take it up towards Little River County, Arkansas. We've got 20% of the county without power. Take it all the way up to Muskogee County, Oklahoma, where we've got 6,000 customers without power. Up towards Tulsa County, where we've got 7,000 customers without power. Oklahoma County, where we've got 25,000 customers without power. So we have a good, tens of thousands of customers right now across portions of the Deep South without power due to this line of storms, and it does not want to end. It just continues to track southward here with all these severe thunderstorm warnings. We can see that this has been going since even yesterday, alright? Last night we kind of talked about how this is going to be going all the way into the afternoon time hours today, and it did, alright? So everybody south of this line here needs to be looking out. Remember, this is going to be, the kind of storm that's going to knock down trees. It's going to knock out power for quite a few people, and it's going to be pretty dangerous overall in terms of its damaging wind threat. So make sure to look out for that. But that's not the only severe weather event we have ongoing here. We are expecting things to ramp up pretty shortly across portions of New England here, as we have a severe thunderstorm watch in place. We did actually have a tornado warning earlier in Ohio, northeast Ohio, northwest Pennsylvania, but it never ended up really doing anything that crazy, so I didn't go live for it. But we could see an isolated tornado develop today, maybe across portions of New England here, maybe New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, somewhere in there. We get a possible brief tornado. I wouldn't rule it out. But again, damaging winds and large hail are going to be the main threats today. Again, this line of storms here is really what we're focusing on right now, as overnight it did produce 85 to 90 mile per hour winds near the Topeka area in Kansas. All right, we currently have about 3,000 customers in Shawnee County without power, and 10% of Wabanese County there without power. So that's not even it, guys. We have a tertiary severe weather threat here across portions of the plains and the Rockies, alright? This is mainly going to be damaging wind and large hail driven, so not really too much of a tornado threat with any of these storms, but again, those damaging winds and large hail are certainly going to pack a punch for all these folks out here in eastern Colorado, southeast Wyoming. We kind of see some of those storms starting to get going there, and they'll kind of intensify as they head further eastward into areas like Nebraska and extreme western Kansas. So that's not it. We have a fourth severe weather event to look out for up here in some parts of Idaho, where we have a severe thunderstorm warning actually right now for ping pong ball-sized hail and 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts for the Emmett area. This is for the greater northwestern Boise suburbs here, alright? So again, areas like Emmett, Letha, New Plymouth, alright, along the Idaho-Oregon state line here is where we're watching right now for this severe thunderstorm that is, again, capable of producing very large hail and damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up stream chat. Make sure to let me know where you're watching from down below. If you have any questions about your location, obviously, because we have over 100 million Americans today facing the threat of a marginal risk of severe weather or greater, and 70 million Americans today facing at least a slight risk of severe weather. So it is a pretty intense day here that we are expecting to start to unfold. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning in eastern Mississippi to the north of Meridian for the threat of 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts in the DeKalb area, so make sure to look out for that. Make sure you're getting indoors there. I'm going to go ahead and pull up stream chat here. So here we go. Got some storms near you. You're in Statesboro, Georgia. Yeah, I do think that most of the threat in the Deep South should remain off to the west of Georgia, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated strong to severe storm in maybe extreme western Georgia here. In the Atlanta area, maybe southward. So make sure to look out for that. We actually had a pretty strong storm roll through the Florida Panhandle, actually happening right now, it looks like, that did end up knocking power out for about 1,600 customers in Shawnee County and Live Oak there. Large tree branches were also reported down in the Live Oak area. Flooding was also reported. And that storm's moving off to the north now towards the Florida-Georgia state line. It's around Jasper. And there's also a line of storms here in extreme southern Georgia. Really just your typical damaging wind, small hail event there, heavy rainfall. pretty much the typical summertime pattern here for Florida and Georgia. Even up into South Carolina, we got some of that same activity going on. Again, I wouldn't rule out an isolated severe storm in this corridor today. Homerville line, which has a special weather statement, will most likely get severe warned. Let's see. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, this could get a severe thunderstorm warning, but if it does, it will not be this big as the special weather statement. It may be like something like this, like an isolated corridor here of the line gets severe warning. I think that this would probably be the spot that it happens in. So maybe Homerville points east towards Waycross could get a severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I don't know how likely it is, but I think I'd give it maybe a 20 to 30% chance. And I also just realized. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry. I was gonna say the alert counter's not on. It is. Speaking of the alert counter, that needs updated. So yeah, again, we're mainly watching our line of storms here continuing to roll through parts of Louisiana and Texas. But really going all up the Mississippi Valley here, we've got ourselves some storms kind of going today. This is a live look here from Kenton, Tennessee at a strong storm rolling through. Look at all that torrential rainfall getting dumped. That's definitely reducing the visibility out here for all these folks driving along the highway, it looks like. We're also getting some gusty winds with that storm up to 20 miles per hour, it looks like. And then we've actually got a storm with a special weather statement out towards central Tennessee. This is a live look here from Pleasantville. And I'm getting a call from Mr. Storm. Hey, what's up?
What's up?
I'm live right now.
Oh, okay, well, perfect timing, because I'm free for the next, 4 hours.
Same here. Let's do it. Yeah, so actually, apparently, guys, this storm here that is special weather statement warned in Tennessee, it looks like we're recording gusts up to 45 miles per hour here from Pleasantville. So we're getting close to the severe limit winds here. It's still, just a special weather statement once again, but it could go severe. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we were watching a massive bow echo line of storms continue to charge through Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, the leftovers from yesterday's event. And again, the most active that this line was back up near the Topeka area whenever it produced 85 to 90 mile per hour wind gust last night near Topeka. It also had a big surge of activity here in the Tulsa area. And then again, even going into the afternoon hours today, we still have this line here producing damage. So.
Yeah, so still a pretty well-defined line, but if you notice, it is starting to break apart a little bit, and the severe thunderstorm warnings are for some relatively low hazards. Definitely, you gotta, get indoors. But, the hail threat hasn't been too large just in the past hour or so. So we're still going to watch these storms that are going to be producing damage wind gusts, but overall it's just not as big of a threat, and it's kind of just a broken or breaking line of storms.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of had that look for the past, hour or two here where it's breaking, but still just barely enough to produce severe thunderstorm warnings here. I will say all these warnings here expire in 1 minute, so we'll see if they reissue them or not. If they do reissue them, we're about to see a ton of warnings pop up. So let's get ready for this here again. This is the decision. Are they going to keep it as a severe warning, or are they going to put it down to a special weather statement, or just leave it unwarned? They have issued a special weather statement ahead of part of this line for Jasper, Texas. So looks like this could be weakening out, but we'll wait here for the next minute to see what they do with this. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now for Heidelberg, Mississippi. 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts heading for the Interstate 59 area.
So do you have the Centerville cam pulled up? Oh yeah, you don't have it pulled up, but if you look, the Pleasantville Tower the cam is really shaking with some strong winds. It's actually inside this thunderstorm, and you can actually see the kind of just like the the structure of the entire storm on the Centerville cam. So it's pretty interesting how we have a lot of different looks from inside and outside of the storm.
Yeah, this is the storm that I was mentioning while you were hopping on stream. I was saying, the gusts were getting recorded to close to 45 miles per hour here. So again, this is probably decently close to being a severe thunderstorm or storm there. And wow, yeah, in Centerville, you can see the entire storm structure there ahead of it. I believe we got another new severe thunderstorm warning there. Yeah, so for Winona, Mississippi, this area already got hit today, but you're getting another one. That's in effect for the next hour and 15 minutes there. Long, severe thunderstorm warning, long live one. And they went ahead and let the Bow Echo line of storms, for the most part, expire in Texas. They did reissue one. Actually, this was the new warning. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Whatever. But this warning here is going to be in effect for the next 14 minutes for the 60-mile-an-hour winds in Texas.
Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to watch a lot of this moisture across parts of Pennsylvania and New York really start to produce a severe weather threat as it tracks northeastward into portions of, far southern New York, maybe even back into parts of New England. We'll have to watch out for that, I'd say. Let me update the warning counter here. And of course, as soon as I do that, we get a new severe thunderstorm warning. And that is for one of our storms here in Pennsylvania that we were just mentioning. For Gailton, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds for the Highway 6 corridor there. So if you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors. Really, it is just... See, the reason these storms are having a hard time becoming severe is because they're not discrete. They're not, alright? It's really just a big band of rain once you get to the New York side of the state line, which is why the severe thunderstorm watch doesn't really go that far into New York and only includes the southernmost counties here. Really, I think most of the severe potential is going to stay on the Pennsylvania side of the state line here. That's also why our slight risk of severe weather cuts off in this area, is because once you get to the north of the Pennsylvania-New York state line, it's really just a big band of rain and maybe some thunderstorms, which is going to create a flash flooding threat. But the actual severe hazard with that storm, there will be, on the lower side of things. And we kind of have a similar system kind of rolling through parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley here. The reason that these storms are having a hard time getting going is because they're not discrete, alright? It's just creating a big blob of rain here rather than some actual, storms. And you see whenever a storm does get discrete, like this one's managed to, it does actually kind of pop off a little bit and produce maybe an isolated gusty wind and small hail threat there. For sure. I don't even know, is this a derecho at this point? Is this line of storms a derecho? I mean, it traveled for over 500 miles. Holy crap, dude. That's insane. Actually, it went even further back. We just don't see the storm reports from that. This could have been a derecho. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If anybody could let me know, that'd be great, because this really could qualify as a derecho, I think. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Just a second. I'm trying to look up what would be stopping this from being considered a derecho. Yeah, this is a derecho. This is I think it was long enough. And again, the wind damage swath, it has to be 240 miles. I mean, look at this, guys. This is like 600 miles we're talking about here. Almost. I think this is a derecho. Another thing with a derecho is it has to cause widespread wind damage. And I mean, if that's not considered widespread wind damage, then I'm not quite too sure what is. Everywhere the storm traveled, it has wind damage reports from. Like trees downed, power lines downed, roof damage. Most of it is about downed trees, but still. If we go up here, like, towards Topeka, I'm sure we'll get some more significant damage reports than just tree damage. Yeah, shingles blown off, power poles broken, 24-inch tree branch down. Pretty significant. And power lines down, some structural damage to sheds and carports. I think this is a derecho, because if you look, it also caused extensive power outages. Alright, Mr. Storm said I'll unmute in a few minutes. I think he's busy or something. I think it was a derecho. Somebody correct me if you can think of a way that it's not a derecho, but... Okay. By the way, we have a significant severe weather potential tomorrow across parts of the northern plains. Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, North Dakota, Montana even has a enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow. And it's actually looking like it could be a pretty intense event for a tornado threat. If we look at the HRRR here, I guess it doesn't quite go far enough out. This run doesn't, but if we look at the previous run here, what's up, Sam, Michael? But if we look at this, I mean, look at these supercells. Look at them. Just firing off there. In the afternoon and evening time hours. And also, look at that hail threat developing. Just look at that, guys. 73 dBZs. Like, the HRRR doesn't do predictions like that. I know I said that last time, too. Like, yesterday, but they just don't. These have been really big hail events recently. Like, I said that yesterday, and yesterday we got softball-sized hail. Which, by the way, was another massive controversy with North Platte. But, yeah, the North Platte situation is pretty bad. Last night, people are, really fuming, and I'm a little upset, too. I made a statement about it on my community tab. But I just, want to remind you guys, everybody makes mistakes. They still do a great service for our country and stuff like that, so can't, just say that they're, awful people, because they messed up. Now, they messed up bad, and they should be criticized for it, but this doesn't, destroy the NWS's entire reputation, I feel like. Yeah, this supercell in particular that the HRRR is showing looks like it could be a big-time tornado producer. 7 p.m. tomorrow, I'd be looking out. That is a really, really potent supercell. And even if we take a look at the NAM, it's also showing a pretty crazy event. Like, the NAM obviously is a lower res model, but you can still see these storms are going to be semi-discrete here, and if they do get discrete enough in this kind of environment, that is going to just pop off a tornado threat here in the northern plains. So, how big is that storm? What storm? Wow. This is weird, dude. Okay. So, usually for tornado warnings, they use the 0-inch hail tag, but they're doing it for this severe thunderstorm warning, because apparently there's no hail threat. It was not in a radar hole. No, it was clear as day. It was so it was in this area, and our radar site's right here. That was like the perfect radar zone. Like, there's no excuse why that should have happened. I feel like if we look at this back here. Yeah, there were chasers on it too, sending in photos like everybody was. Here, we'll do the velocities. It was really clear on the velocities, and there was a CC drop, a huge CC drop. Yeah, it's not even like it was too close to the radar side either. So look at it. Like, seriously, come on, guys. And, you know, you may just think, oh, yeah, that should be a tornado warning storm, but there's no confirmation that it's on the ground. Well, if you look back at the correlation coefficient, there was a huge debris signature, very deep debris signature. In fact, we'll just go ahead and do that right now. You have to go? Alright, see ya. But if we look back at the correlation coefficient, where did it go? There it is. Like, look at that. How do you not see that debris signature as an NWS employee? That is crazy. That is actually the clearest debris signature you will ever see with a velocity couple like that. And, like, they didn't... Like, what is going on? Like, look at that, dude. That is the craziest debris signature you'll ever see in an open field. Again, the top wind speeds recorded with this were 173.3 miles per hour. So, based on its wind speeds, alright, this doesn't mean it was an EF4, but if the top wind speed damage came out at that level, it would be EF4, but as of right now, it's EF2. But there were EF4 level wind speeds with it at the very least, which again is the strongest Nebraska tornado we've seen all year, maybe, other than the Elkhorn tornado. Which is debatable, because the Elkhorn tornado ripped through a populated area, and it only got rated EF3, so you'd think if it was EF4, in terms of its wind speeds, it would get EF4 damage, because it ripped through a populated area, but this was in an open field, so it makes sense that it's not saying EF4 damage. Because, while yes, it did hit the small town of Whitman, it strengthened after it hit Whitman. It wasn't at its strongest point when it hit Whitman. In fact, it had just dropped before it hit Whitman, so. But yeah. We have 2 new severe thunderstorm warnings here, one in West Virginia, one up into Pennsylvania. Nothing too crazy yet, though, luckily. I don't know what I'm doing here. Sorry. But yeah, it's a crazy situation. It was a tornado and a half, for sure. Again, none of these storms are really discrete enough to produce a tornado threat quite yet here in Pennsylvania, I don't think. None of them are really rotating that impressively to me. Maybe this one, actually. It's definitely rotating a little bit. Yeah, an enhanced risk in Montana. I mean, that is rare. I don't know when the last time was I saw that. We definitely haven't had it yet this year. I'd remember that. The PA storm chasers are out tonight. That makes sense. Yeah, this is even wrapping around a little bit. This has inflow. This is rotating. You gotta watch out for a potential tornado trying to develop near Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Alright, we gotta watch this storm now. This may even go tornado warning if it strengthens that much. Again, right now it's not really strong enough to go tornado warning. It's way too broad. But if it strengthens, this could be a bad situation for Williamsport because it's a pretty populated area up here. I mean, obviously, all of Pennsylvania is populated, but especially in Williamsport there. So again, we'll continue to watch this here. Again, the hook's really wrapping around now. Again, there's your inflow going into the storm. If we do have a tornado, it would be right in there along Highway 220. But again, I don't think we have one at this point. Definitely not. But that rotation is actually, again, it's really broad, but it's pretty strong. So it's just extremely broad. Like, they're not even close. So we'll see what happens with that, obviously. But, like, I don't see any other storms rotating that's, like, definitive that it's rotation other than maybe this. There's a lot of contamination, so it's hard to tell. It really is. A lot of these storms are dropping big-time hailstones, so there's a lot of hail contamination and stuff like that. Just not a great situation here. Maybe some broad rotation north of Clarion. Yeah, that's definitely some weak broad rotation. I will say that's going to be a big damaging windbag there. Jeez Louise. I mean, that's, 80, close to 80 miles per hour, half a degree into the atmosphere. Look at this. Seek shelter inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. This storm is capable of producing damaging winds. In your Clarion there. I don't know where Mr. Storm went. I don't know what happened to him. He didn't leave the call that he's muted. Yeah, there's your velocity couplet. Again, heading into Williamsport right now. Yeah, likely going to go a little bit to the north of Williamsport, though, towards the Balls Mills area. Cogan Station, Halika. It almost looks like it's heading due north, though, so maybe go closer to, like, the Trout Run region, far north of Williamsport there. Large severe thunderstorm warning just went out for St. Mary's. 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts and penny-sized hail. So if you're in that area, make sure you're getting indoors. We're starting to see some of these Pennsylvania storms really get their act together here. I don't think this is rotation near McElhatton, by the way. I think this is contaminated over Woolwich there. Any considerable severes yet? Not right now. No. Oh, he said he'll be back in a minute. Okay. No, you're good. Again, mainly just watching this storm right now here, approaching Williamsport, and especially areas to the north of Williamsport need to be looking out for this, like in the Woodland Park area. Again, no tornado yet, but I could definitely see this evolving and trying to become tornadic over time here, if you know what I'm saying. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm watch for parts of eastern Kentucky. Really surprised that got issued. It is a very rural area out here, like literally the biggest city in this watch. Oh, wait, okay. So it's actually a larger watch than I thought, alright. But yeah, this is for the Charleston, West Virginia area, back up through Morgantown. I don't know where the old watch begins and the new watch ends, but okay. Right here. So this one includes Pittsburgh, Morgantown, West Virginia, back down towards Charleston, West Virginia, even out into portions of southeast Ohio here, like Parkersburg. So, That's a brand new severe thunderstorm watch. I'll try to get the details up on that for you guys here in just a second. Okay. So, bringing that up on your screen now. New severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for parts of Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia until 10 p.m. Eastern. Scattered hail up to quarter size possible. Scattered gusts up to 70 miles an hour likely. Very low end severe thunderstorm watch that just came out there. It's similar. Actually, I think it's the exact same though to our one in the Deep South. I think it was the exact same tags. Or was it the New England one that was like that? That would make more sense. I don't remember. I think the New England one was a little bit more intense. I don't know if you can really call this New England though. Like Pennsylvania, Southern New York. Is that New England? I'm not familiar. Glad to see me on here. You're in southeastern Ohio. Yeah, southeastern Ohio did just get that brand new severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Right now, I think Ohio for the most part should just be, because of how non-discrete these thunderstorms are. That's going to really limit their potential to become really strong for the most part. You definitely could expect a flash flooding threat in southeast Ohio here, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a big band of storms form and really just dump heavy rain everywhere, lightning. It's going to be what you think of whenever you think of a typical summertime thunderstorm. And I don't think they're going to be anything too crazy. And again, that's why this is kind of a low-end severe thunderstorm watch here. But again, a severe threat does exist. It's just, I think not everybody in southeast Ohio is going to see that severe threat. I think it's going to be a small section of people. Now, obviously, we can't get too specific and, say, oh, this county is going to get a severe storm, but it's only certain ones that are going to, for sure. And yeah, our special weather statement line of storms here in Georgia, I didn't even realize it, but it went severe warned in the Douglas area rather than the Homerville region. And I hate whenever my alert sounds don't work, but they're not working, so that's great. These severe warnings in Idaho are coming out pretty fast. They were talking about issuing a watch up here. They only give it a 20% chance, but, I mean, man, those storms are potent. Like, look at that. We got a hail spike. Holy crap. Dude, oh my gosh. These are some extreme hailstorms. Hopefully, if it does, you'll get some cool pictures. Yeah, they're probably going to be some pretty beautiful looking storms out there today. Douglas is coming up on you, yay. But yeah, I mean, these cells are really producing a hail threat right now. Again, the damaging wind threat's not super high, but if you're out here, I mean, you could see some of the biggest hailstones of your entire life for all you guys in southern Idaho. Southwest Idaho doesn't get hailstorms that often. What's up, Goose Man? Okay. So again, Mr. Storm should be back here any minute, guys. continue to watch our storms here in Pennsylvania as they are just barely rotating here. And this one kind of lost some of its steam, it looks like, near Williamsport. So nothing too much to worry about up there in terms of a tornado threat right now. But again, that could change as we go later into this afternoon and even this evening here. As again, the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted this area here at a 2% chance to see a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. So, definitely the threat for a brief tornado up here today. 30 million people have a 2% risk of a tornado from the Storm Prediction Center, which is why we are here. Yeah, the Idaho cells certainly do look insane. Both of them do. I mean, those are just extreme hailstorms. Extreme hailstorms for Idaho. Like, southwest Idaho? Are you kidding me? Like, since when? Like, what? What about Pittsburgh? Well, let's check out Pittsburgh here. I don't know why I had to look up Pittsburgh to find it. I know where Pittsburgh is. Why am I acting like an idiot? Pittsburgh is probably, for the most part, in the clear right now. I mean, maybe just some general rain showers in the area. But I would not rule out an isolated storm later today in Pittsburgh. It actually looks like in Pittsburgh, though, you have already gotten, again, some of those showers, some sprinkles today, but it looks like to me that the severe threat, interestingly enough, is really going to be just barely to the north of you for the most part. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't get a severe storm. You definitely could. But for the most part, I think it's going to be to the north of you and to the south of you if you're in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is kind of right down the center of where we got these storms in New England that are going to be dangerous. And then we've got our storms in the Appalachia area that are going to be dangerous, but Pittsburgh, for the most part, is kind of right in between them. But you still have that slight risk of severe weather, so again, I'd look out for an isolated storm or two later today. I don't understand how this is only ping pong ball sized hail that they're warning this for. Same thing with this one, like what? And these Idaho events have been way overperforming in terms of their hail threats, I feel like, over the past few months. Yeah, no problem, Edward. Nothing really else to mention right now. Our Dixie Alley event is losing some steam here, definitely. Still some severe storms out here in the Mississippi, but for the most part, to the west of you in Mississippi, they're not too intense. These Alabama storms are really firing off here. Birmingham's under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. Weirdly enough, I feel like Alabama we have not talked about for a long time, and Alabama gets like some of the worst severe weather in the entire country, and I don't feel like we've talked about Alabama in forever. We really haven't talked about Alabama that much since I started streaming on this channel, have we? Considering how, severe weather primed it is. Definitely talked about, northern Alabama quite a bit, because we have viewers there, but really, we don't have to talk about it too much. Your sister lives just outside of Boise. You might want to let her know that you got some big-time hailstorms up there. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Mr. Storm. I think he's busy or something.
I'm back.
Oh, there he is. I say his name and he appears.
That took a long time, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just wondering where you were at. I was confused.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Again, still watching that. Still, sorry, what?
Huge hailstorm north of Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, we've been watching those Boise storms quite a bit.
Boise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you just say boys?
I think so, yeah. 77 DVZs.
For Idaho, that's insane.
That's crazy, dude. We might go 80 here.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah. Showing up on the correlation coefficient, too.
Wow. Yeah. Obviously, the vertically integrated liquid is insanely maxed out over a huge area.
Yeah. Giant hail core, guys.
It's like an 8-mile swath there of maxed out vertically integrated liquid. And even like the storm to the south of Boise is like pretty big in terms of a hail threat. I had a huge hail spike a couple scans ago.
Oh gosh, yeah. It almost looks like there's a CC drop, but I think it's for hail.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? No, that's actually probably just contamination because it's not in an area that's currently seeing any high DBZ values. And it's crazy because these storms seem to be just a special weather statement warned a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like they just popped nowhere. This one near Emmett is really strong right now.
Yeah, and that one near Emmett also had a report of some wind damage back whenever it was on the Oregon side of the state line. Emergency manager reports 5 to 6 power poles snapped off at the base. Most of the roof of an onion shed tore off. I don't even know what an onion shed is.
Me neither.
Is it just a shed where they have onions?
Maybe.
I literally never heard of an onion shed.
There could be some rotation near Little Blue Mountain. Or some. Yeah.
That's just hail contamination. Whenever we get hail this big, it gets really contaminated.
Oh, okay. Let's see if the other one. Oh, there was some pretty intense rotation at a moment near Sailor Creek Air Force Range. If you take it back a few scans, it's dead now, but if you take it back a few scans, there was some pretty intense rotation at a point.
Are you sure it wasn't just contamination?
No, but
here, wait. What's like a town that it's near?
Let's see. It's near Forest Hill. That's not a town, but it's near there. It's south of. Oh, I cannot say that. Renee? I don't think I'm saying that. Right.
Yeah, if it was one of our hailstorms, it's probably just contamination.
Maybe. We'll see.
Because if you look, the environment is not favorable at all up here for rotating supercells.
Yeah. Guess it was. Due to the storm that is impacting the area south of D.C., near Fredericksburg, Virginia. That's down near Bowling Green. We actually have a special weather statement down there. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and pea-sized hail.
Yeah. And we've actually got DC and a special marine warning.
Yeah.
Along, what's this called? Piscataway Creek. South of DC there.
New meso discussion.
New mesoscale discussion.
Yeah, that is for New England. At least isolated strong to severe gusts may occur this afternoon with a greater chance of organized damaging wind gusts during the evening. That includes areas of eastern PA, pretty much all of New Jersey, and a little bit of western Long Island.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. We got a 40% watch probability with that, so we may actually get a severe watch. It looks like the cutoff is actually right at, seems to be my county of Nassau County, but, that's where the cutoff is for Long Island. But New York City, Philadelphia, Trenton, Newark, Allentown, Lancaster, Harrisburg, all of you guys are under the gun for potential severe storms with some very strong winds possible. So once again, that's a 40% chance of a watch being issued.
Yeah, and a lot of times the mesoscales don't even, they don't have the exact counties that they highlight in that, so you may honestly end up being in that watch if it gets issued, because how it actually works, is the Storm Prediction Center reaches out to the individual National Weather Service offices and says, hey, which of your counties do you want to be included into this watch? So, and the mesoscales come out before they do that, so it's always a little iffy whether or not the exact counties are going to be included in it.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll get in a watch. I mean, I guess not. I guess the people in my county don't want that to happen, but
you do.
Yeah. But I'm basically on the blue line for the edge of the highlighted area.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I got a lot of good footage yesterday. I'm going to have to edit that, but...
Yeah.
By the way, guys, take a look at this camera here in south central Alabama from Red Level. Very ominous skies right before this severe thunderstorm rolls through. We'll keep that in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Just keep a peek at it every now and then. And then some of our Tennessee cams might be useful. Keep up Columbia 911. Columbia, Tennessee, that's a pretty ominous sky. Columbia is actually the area that got hit by an EF3 last month during the early May. I want to call it a super outbreak, but it's not a super outbreak, but the big outbreak. And by the way, guys, I have a graphic to show you. This is... Okay. Bring this up. Look at this, guys. This is the United States tornadoes of 2024 Wikipedia page. They have this graphic up, right, where the red line, this is 2024, right? These are total tornadoes for the year. This is 2024. Other than 2011, in the past 15 years here, 2024 has been the most active season on record in the past 15 years. Again, outside of 2011, obviously. But right now, it's kind of neck and neck with 2019. 2019 was also a big year. We had a massive outbreak late into the year. I want to say it was in the fall where we had multiple EF4s in the same day. And that's the kind of season we're talking about there. We're talking about a very high tornado season. Again, you can just see 2024 started out as a slow season here, but you can see around late April here just spiked. All right, April 26th in particular is where it spiked, and then it went way ahead of all of our, again, even our more active seasons like 2019 and 2023 and 2017. It's beating all of them right now. Other than 2019, it's neck and neck with, and then again 2011 is just leap years beyond all of them. But yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. Please consider subscribing to Davis.
Yeah, go subscribe to Mr. Storm too. We're here a lot doing this. And again, I know I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Holy crap, we have a considerable in Idaho for our hailstorm now. Even though to me the hail core looks less impressive now. And we are now up to 19 severe warnings, so it's quite a few. Again, for some reason my alerts aren't going off whenever we get a new severe, so that's unfortunate, but luckily nothing too crazy is going on right now. Again, these storms in Pennsylvania just are refusing to get their act together in terms of a rotation scenario here. Again, they're producing some pretty significant wind gusts, it looks like, but the hail is not there, and the tornado threat especially is not there. And again, if you look, once you get to the Pennsylvania-New York state line here, actually, you can see once you get to the New York part of the state line, it's just a big cluster of showers and thunderstorms, which is why our slight risk just barely goes into southern New York here, is because this is not the kind of environment that we look for intense thunderstorms. Whenever we got a big cluster like this, it's going to create a flash flooding threat, maybe an odd lightning strike or something, but you're not going to see a severe weather setup with something like this, like we have here going on in extreme western New York right now. Which, again, is why our severe thunderstorm watch only includes a few counties in New York there, and they actually just removed a few counties from New York, so yeah. We did get a new severe thunderstorm warning there in West Virginia while I was talking. This is for the Robinette Sylvester area, so if you're in that region, make sure you're getting indoors there. 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts possible with that storm. And if we look here, Ryan doesn't have his camera on. Let's go look at his weather house camera. Northeast Ohio. Yeah, Northeast Ohio today it's kind of a similar situation to what I was talking about there with Western New York. Is the greatest threat is probably going to be flash flooding. We did actually have a tornado warning earlier today in Northeast Ohio and Northwest Pennsylvania, but it was very brief. But at this point, the severe threat in Northeast Ohio is pretty low, and you're not even under any sort of watch right now, so.
Up to 20 severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yeah. 13 flash flood warnings as well.
Still that considerable storm north of Boise. Still producing up to golf ball size hail. I mean, it still does have pretty nice looking hail core, up to about 71 dBZs, but, you know, definitely not nearly as strong as it was just a few minutes ago, but yeah, it's still very strong.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of our flash flood warnings right now, though, actually come out of New Mexico, and we did just get a new severe one in Idaho for our southern storm here for quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds for the Glens Ferry area, so look out for that one. That does include a small section of Interstate 84 in between Hammett and Bliss, so look out for that if you're traveling along there.
Now 5 Eastern for Central, so the mezzo discussion for our New England event will expire at 6, that's in an hour, so we'll most likely, if we get our watch, we'll most likely see see it in the next hour or so. So that'll probably be coming out fairly soon.
Yeah, I personally don't think they're gonna issue that watch though. I hate to make you sad, but I just don't think they're gonna issue it. They only have it at a 40% confidence, and if they haven't done it by now and it's been out for over an hour, I doubt they're gonna do it.
Maybe, yeah.
I also apologize to everybody watching. I did not mean for that alarm to go off. I gave myself a heart attack. Yeah, I mean they could issue it. I doubt it at this point. What games do I play? Not many recently. Minecraft, Roblox, Pokemon. I know my game choices make me sound like a 5-year-old, but yeah, I mean that's kind of what I do. But again, not really much recently. It's been all about the weather. We are now down to 15 severe warnings. A lot of them just expired. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
It hasn't been too active lately, to be honest.
We just had a wedge yesterday. What do you mean?
But like, day.
We also had multiple PDS in Wisconsin the other day. I think it's been pretty active.
No, like today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, yesterday was insane.
Also, this event, it's technically a derecho, I think. We've technically had a derecho, I think, today, but I'm not going to say that we've definitely had one because I'm not sure, but in my experience, this meets all the criteria of a derecho. It traveled definitely over 240 miles. It traveled for almost 600 miles. There's widespread wind damage reported across the entire line. There were gusts from 85 to 90 miles per hour close to Topeka. I think that line could have been a derecho. I don't know if you heard me talking about that, Mr. Storm, but there may have been a derecho today.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that.
It would be one of those... Sorry.
I guess it hasn't been too, boring today. But, yeah, I mean, we did have the derecho.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. I mean, outside of that, there hasn't really been too much, and that was mostly in the early morning time hours that was interesting, so...
Yeah.
I love how every time we both start talking at the same time.
I know.
Like,
I don't know why it happens.
It's just silent, and then both of us just decide to start talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sam, I'm definitely thinking tomorrow is going to be intense with that one cell that the HRRR is showing. It looks extreme. Where was that? Was it in North Dakota? The newest run of the HRRR isn't out, but if we look at the 19Z here, what we were looking at earlier. What? I don't understand. Huh? There we go. Yeah. I sound like Sharkane. I have no idea who that is. No, but yeah, 7 p.m. tomorrow. There's a very intense supercell showing up in southwestern North Dakota that I think could definitely cause some problems. By the way, we have another considerable severe thunderstorm warning now. It's an extension for our storm in Idaho. This now includes Crouch and Garden Valley, as well as Gardena, along the Highway 55 corridor here in southwest Idaho.
Starting to see some more intense storms in PA. Not a huge hail threat, to be honest with you, but definitely that wind threat is present right now, and you can see that we have a cluster of some severe thunderstorms. And I do think that down by like Harrisburg. I mean, I think this like little line of storms. I think some of these embedded. There could be some severe thunderstorms later on. So just watch out if you're in New Jersey and just areas that are inside the mesoscale discussion.
Yeah, for sure. I also just now noticed. Look near Covington, Pennsylvania. You can verify it by looking at multiple different radar sites. There is rotation here. Again, you can look at the Binghamton radar, and then also look at the central PA radar. You can see on both it's showing rotation. So I think there is rotation southwest of Covington, Pennsylvania. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Cherry Flats, West Covington, Whitneyville. Look out. This may get the tornado possible tag or something. It's broad rotation. It's pretty weak, but it's something to watch at least. And so far, this is a pretty big bust for the tornado threat. Again, it was only a 2% risk, so it's not like we were expecting some major tornado outbreak today, but I mean, yesterday we had a tornado outbreak on a 2%, but not every 2% day is like that, I promise.
Yeah, that is rotation. It's been there for a few scans now.
Yeah, south of Highway 6 there. Have to watch that. And if that does produce a tornado, it will be rain wraps. This could be a pretty dangerous little storm there if that gets its act together any further.
Near Blossburg, Mansfield, Covington, Arnott, and Duncan.
Yeah. That warning expires in 8 minutes, so they'll probably issue a new one for that. So we'll see if they put the tornado possible tag on it. What National Weather Service office is this? This is State College, but I think once we get to the New York State side of the state line, it's Binghamton. Or as I used to say, Binghamton.
Binghamton.
Winnebagoo and Binghamton.
Oh, and don't forget how Davis thought the Finger Lakes were the Great Lakes.
Oh, don't forget how Mr. Storm keeps calling it Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding, but no, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning here in central West Virginia for areas along Interstate 79 near Clay. Just another little wind threat there. Yeah, I know we've had multiple people here asking questions about Ohio today. At this point, I think Ohio, for the most part, should be good. Again, if anything, I'd say maybe an isolated gust of wind picks up in eastern Ohio. But I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. Again, the flooding threat's definitely going to be there. We already have flash flood warnings going out for northeast Ohio and northwest PA. Automated gauge indicated flash flooding there. Win for this next radar scan on literally any of our radar sites out here for a Covington storm. It's in a bit of a radar hole here, so probably looking pretty high up into the atmosphere to see this, but still, it's definitely rotating there a little bit. I think if this cell doesn't do anything, we're probably going to end off stream here because I've been live here for over an hour now.
Yeah.
We could talk about how the tropics are starting to heat up finally.
That's cool.
We got some classic African waves showing up on the GFS that look to turn into tropical systems here, like this one. Now, the GFS in particular isn't showing really.
Oh, one second.
Okay. Yeah, but the GFS isn't showing any one in particular making landfall in the U.S. I will say the European has actually been super aggressive with these, but if you look, the GFS is showing one of these kind of dying out, but then resurging as it gets back close to the Florida Panhandle area. So we'll see what that does. We could have a weak tropical system potentially there, but remember, guys, that's over 350 hours out that we're talking about, so take that all with a grain of salt. But things are definitely heating up a little bit. No doubt about it. New severe thunderstorm warning in South Carolina. To the east of Florence for the Marion area. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts. And guys, I don't know how much longer we're gonna be here. This is really the one storm we're watching, other than our hailstorms in Idaho. But our hailstorms in Idaho are we can't go live for every golf ball sized hailstorm in Idaho, or every golf ball sized hailstorm. All right, you're back. Hello.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our Covington storm's rotating a little bit.
Yeah.
Near Highway 6, near Whitneyville and West Covington. Heading north.
Williamsport storm is actually rotating a little bit now.
Is it?
Yeah.
We had a storm there near Williamsport earlier that was rotating. Yep. I see it. That little itty bitty guy there to the south of it. We also just got a new look at our Covington storm. Again, the rotation on our Covington storm is probably a little bit more intense near Whitneyville right now.
Watch it.
Yeah. Over Highway 6 there. If you know anybody in this area, make sure they're aware about this. Again, it's not the given in, but it's still going to be a pretty intense storm. And obviously, driving through a hailstorm on the highway is pretty scary. So if you know anybody that may be traveling in this area, just let them know, because really all of northern PA is quite stormy today with hailstorms and windstorms as well. Again, wind's actually the bigger threat with these, I'd say. Again, an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. It almost looks like we got two areas of rotation on our Covington storm, one along Highway 15 and one along Highway 6. And now we've got another rotation south of Thumptown. Near Stony Fork, Draper, Balsam. But I do think that we're getting off the stream here soon because there's not too much going on. Not going to be surprised for a 10 significant tomorrow. Yeah, I mentioned that in my forecast today. Mr. Storm, do you think tomorrow will go 10% hatched?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think I said like 20 to 30% chance. It's possible. There's a large 5% area, and again, the HRRR is showing a pretty potent supercell in North Dakota, so if we do get a 10%, or a 10% hatched even, probably be somewhere in this area. It'd be pretty small there around Dickinson, I'd imagine, but again, I just don't think they're going to add it. There's a chance, but new severe thunderstorm warning now for Gilton and Abbott, and Wharton. 60-mile-an-hour winds. Just the general trend with all these severe warnings in Pennsylvania right now, up in northern PA. I'm not a 10-year-old. I'm sorry if you don't like that people have opinions different than yours, but I'm not a 10-year-old. They did reissue our severe warning for the Covington storm. They did not put the tornado possible tag on it, though. Sorry about that. Alright, guys. I think we're going to end off the stream here since we're not seeing any spike in activity at all. But, Mr. Storm, you got any final words?
Just stay safe.
Yeah. So again, thank you all for tuning in. I'll be live here again tomorrow. I may be live here again today if we get a tornado warning or something. But at this point, it's unlikely. I'm sure if Mr. Storm gets any cool storms in his area, he'll get some footage for YouTube. So go subscribe to his channel. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.